The internet has been abuzz the last couple weeks around reports that Xbox is putting some or all of their games on PS5.
When you say a buzz, you mean crazy over-the-top meltdowns, right?
Yes, I do. I do mean that.
But the other day, Microsoft Phil sat us down and told us it was just going to be 4 games from the back catalog.
And so, the internet freaked out over nothing.
Imagine that.
But regardless, the people were ready to believe that Xbox was just giving up. And maybe that's a problem. Clearly, Xbox has seen better days. So, it's a good thing that we've got you. Yes, you, Phil Spencer, watching this video right now. Hello.
This is an intervention. No, wait, don't go! We're only doing this because we care about you. We know you're losing to PlayStation, and you're losing real bad. But the war isn't lost yet.
The idea that Xbox can't do any better is kind of obviously wrong, right? Luckily, we know how you can turn Xbox into an unstoppable juggernaut out of stuff you already have laying around the office.
Pay attention, Phil. Take some OneNotes on your Surface.
Set an Outlook reminder to update your Excel budgets, Phil, because we're solving all your problems.
Your first problem is that Xbox has no identity. PlayStation has fans, and Nintendo has fans. But there don't seem to be that many people with an emotional connection to the Xbox brand.
There's nothing to latch onto. My PS5 is a goofy-looking portal into fantastical cinematic worlds.
God of War Ragnarok is my favorite movie.
My Switch is a magic fun machine that I pick up when I want to feel joy. Xbox is just a bunch of unrelated stuff of varying quality. It's a good console, but just the sum of its parts and nothing more.
Now stay with us, Phil. I know the truth can be uncomfortable, but don't click away.
Oh, he definitely clicked away.
No. He's still here, because he knows we're right, and we have a solution.
He's watching a trailer for Dune Part 2 right now.
The solution is, you already own everything. You have so many legendary game series in your catalog. Just tell people about them.
Be Disney. Marvel and Star Wars were established names, but everybody knows they're Disney now because they tell us over and over again.
I just look at the front page of Disney+. Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and so on. Right there in your face.
And good news, you already own the only good video game subscription service. So instead of sorting all the games alphabetically, show us logos that spark joy in our cold, bitter gamer hearts. You have so many!
MechWarrior? No way!
And all those categories come with a back catalog of some of the most beloved games of all time.
Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
He gets it. You get it, right, Phil? Because we're moving on to Xbox's second big problem. Not enough new games. Don't click away! We know that AAA game development is a well-documented problem for the whole industry.
The games cost too much and they take too long to make. Sony just revealed that they have exactly 0 games coming to PlayStation over the next 12 months. That's bad.
And we get the problem. The only way to compete with other AAA games is to do more. To pack in more stuff. Not with better ideas, because those are too risky, but just many more copies of old ideas.
That reminds me of this time I was out by Altair 4 and this gross slime monster attached itself to our ship and kept multiplied. It was dicey for a minute, but eventually it collapsed in on itself and died.
Yes. That was an unexpectedly relevant anecdote, thank you.
It was still slimy, though. Have you ever had to mop dead slime monster out of your carpet? Clear your calendar.
Less relevant, but thanks. Look, Phil, PlayStation is in too deep to pivot now. They've built their entire brand on these massive mega-budget games, and there's no way out for them.
Look, Xbox has been given an incredible gift here. Low momentum. Now that's not a backhanded compliment, I'm serious. Well, I mean, it is a backhanded compliment, but I mean it as a good thing. Don't click off the video.
Xbox is in a great position to start producing smaller scope games out of that crazy war chest of beloved franchises. Grab a handful of those dormant IPs and toss them out to your 1 million dev teams you bought and tell them to go nuts. Make something you can release in 1 year instead of 5. Put a different familiar franchise on the screen every month.
Just look at what Sega's doing. They announced a bunch of smaller scope games in fan-favorite series, and the response has been huge. This is how Nintendo supports the Switch. They release one smaller but noteworthy game every month. And they made like $1 million. Maybe even way more than that.
And if the future of Xbox really is Game Pass, a constant stream of new content does a lot more to keep people subscribed than just one big game a year. The last major problem is that Xbox is not providing enough value to people.
Now that sounds ridiculous when you're talking about the system with the lower price of entry, a really affordable game subscription service, and like 99% catalog overlap with its chief competitor. But when the whole narrative around the system is that it's just like the PS5, except it's missing these 5 games that you have to have, that just doesn't add up.
And that's the big problem. PlayStation is running the show. How can you beat them if they're the ones making all the rules?
You need to offer something unique that PlayStation can't match. A killer, valuable feature for all those third-party games that makes Xbox the preferred destination for multi-platform content. And the answer is kind of obvious.
Candy!
A handheld! Look, hear me out on this one. Did he click away? No, he's still here. Phil, the Xbox platform has one massive, crazy, undervalued feature that Sony just doesn't have. A library where every single game is optimized for both high power and low power hardware targets.
Put your hardware wizards on this one and tweak that Series S chipset until you can run it on a battery.
I mean, can you imagine a handheld that runs everything a Series S can run? Every current gen game with cross-save for your 4K Series X at home, all the backward compatible Xbox and 360 games, and that massive library is there on day one with no developer intervention because everything is already optimized for a low-power chipset? Why would anyone ever buy a game on PS5 ever again? Even if they don't own the handheld, there's that promise that if you buy it on Xbox, the handheld version is waiting for you if you ever pick up the system. Even if you haven't owned an Xbox since 360, you've probably got a...
Okay, we talked about this. I'm sorry you had to see that, Phil, but he's not wrong. Xbox handheld is like right there.
Why wouldn't you do this? Is it because you hate money? It's like a Steam Deck, but all the games actually work. This is...
Whoa! Feels like you're working out a lot of stuff right now.
Phil, you are the chosen one.
Okay, yep, he's in full Xbox handheld rant mode again. Get the tranquilizer. Alright, somebody get Phil Spencer out of here.